Oh, and now I have to look at an advert. Yay. So the first question on this was, what's the main concept of the ad? Describe the narrative and story, the events that happen, why it has happened, what is shown, basically. So, my ad I've chosen is the Sainsbury's 2016 Christmas advert, and the story is of a typical suburban father, this time voiced by James Corden, who basically is trying to find the perfect gift for his family, and then throughout the course of the day discovers that he would be the perfect gift for his family, because Christmas meanings and that. So, what kind of people are shown, gender, age, class, etc. So the main character of the ad is James Corden, who in this is like a thin, tall, blonde-haired, male, middle-class, straight person. So pretty much a run-of-the-mill, middle-class, male, working-class boy. The less important roles is interesting because his family itself is a mixed-race family, because his daughter is black, I believe his son is white, and his wife is also black, as well as the grandma. So that's a really nice thing, because it shows that there's like inversion in society and that these sort of things are okay, which is nice because not many Christmas adverts really do that sort of thing. So they would be the less important roles, because although they're important to the story and they're important to the moral, the entire thing is based around James Corden's character. As I said, giving types of give examples of the roles that they provide. As I said, they're like normally family people, just a lot of background people as well, and like his boss, his job is black as well. Like it's pretty inclusive advert. There's a lot of cool stuff. The visual elements, it gives a very nice atmosphere, very Christmassy atmosphere. The clothing they're wearing is a lot of business suits, which kind of runs into the theme of the advert. Even to the point where the gingerbread man, which is like kind of like the item that kickstarts the plot, is wearing a business suit because that's how his kids see him and that's what gives him the emotional reaction. And his hairstyle is very generic, kind of like simple businessy hairstyle. Settings and locations, as far as I remember, there are 3 locations. There is his house, the toy shop he works at, no, not toy shop, sorry, toy factory he works at, and the shop where he's buying presents. Other objects and props, this is interesting. You see there's the gingerbread man that I before mentioned that kickstarts the plot, as well as all the toys he makes to represent himself that he puts around the office to prevent him to going into work and actually spending time with his family. Question 4. Sorry, just checking the runtime. Question 4. The lighting, it kind of begins, the film is interesting because it begins with like a single snowflake going down to the house, and it's kind of like very dark, very like early afternoon, not afternoon, sorry, very early evening, probably like 6 o'clock in the morning times, like where it's just starting to light up, and then it kind of goes to like super bright for like the rest of the advert until it gets like, it's darker the later it gets, so it kind of moves in real time, almost, as far as lighting goes. And also the colours are always very traditionally Christmassy colours. And so, the visual codes, most of it is literally just following him, as far as I remember, and because I just rewatched it, but as far as I can recall, quite a lot of it is a lot of shots of him just walking around, and him being him, and it's basically just him telling the story while this is going on. The editing is very interesting because of the fact that towards the end, when you have he's got all these machines ready and he's got all these things ready, you see cuts between the machines doing their job and him doing a similar action but with his family. So there's a bit where like they're at the Christmas party and then there's got like a Stretch Armstrong that they pulled together to represent dancing. By the way, I'm sorry about the beeping. Oh, it just stopped. Nothing I can do about it as a truck, but no, but as I was saying, there's a bit where they're pulling a Stretch Armstrong and it like explodes, and then it cuts to them pulling a Christmas cracker and it explodes, and it's symbolism and all that nice, cool stuff. As far as the visual style, and this is the really big thing that I didn't mention, and I've been wanting to mention the whole time. The whole thing is a stop motion ad, because basically the entire ad is just done with a stop motion fill, which makes it look very Christmassy, because it gives you like those vibes of movies like Nightmare Before Christmas, and even some of the older like Christmas specials, something like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. As far as the audio codes, there are a couple, like, because the entire thing is a musical, which again I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. So the thing just builds up, and it just has the entire track, the entire 3-minute and 36-second long advert is a musical number. What text or graphics are used? Right at the end of the film, there is a thing that says "Christmas is for sharing," which is the moral of the thing, and it says Sainsbury's. But the most important thing of this is it comes to a little advert at the end, which is like, "Oh, this is for Great Ormond Street Hospital," which is important because they were selling merchandise to do with this advert, and basically the money would go to those less fortunate, which is kind of what the advert itself is saying by having "Christmas is for sharing." So, what mode of address is used? I feel like he feels like he's talking to the audience because he's singing this song, but he's directly singing it to the audience. It feels like that. It's used effectively because, again, he's singing this song to the audience, and the audience are... You can kind of understand because he's a very sympathetic character. So who do you think it's targeted at? I feel like it's targeted at a lot of workaholics and people who do a lot of work, because it's very hard for people who work a lot to get and see their families, and that's what the moral of the ad is, that you should be able to see your family and do all this sort of thing in Christmas. The people I don't think are really being all that involved are the kids, although the kids are an important part of this story, because kids don't really go shopping at Sainsbury's. They don't really understand how the tubes always break down. They don't really understand all the stress of Christmas. So I feel like this ad, although it has got financial gain in mind, like it's like, buy from Sainsbury's, we're such a lovely company, I feel like the whole point of that ad in itself is just to spend some Christmas cheer, and it did that. So yeah, go Sainsbury's. That was my quick ad thing. I'm sorry about all the little noises and that, because I live on a very busy street at the minute because of Christmas. Ironic, I know. But yeah, there we go.